It's so dirty. Hello, Dark Row. Welcome to the stream. How are you feeling this morning? Hello, kid. Oh, that was weird. Played the first couple of chords from Reflection Pool and kid shit. Hello, Mary. Hi, Darius. Oh, hi, Cos. Wow, everybody's on time today. Hi, Manny. Hi, Lindsay. Hello, Jackie Snyder. Word up. Thanks for being in for a moment, Cos. I hope you get some rest. I feel you on that, kid. Even when I play on my reface, my hands are so big. My hands are just so large. There's a lot of things that I mean I prefer about a piano. If I'm just going to be playing music like this, like even the music I'm playing right this second, it's very expressive. There's a lot of um, there's a lot of soft notes, really hard notes, and since the keys are weighted, I'm allowed to have that level of expression. And if I was playing on a MIDI controller, I mean I could try to ape it, but it wouldn't be the same. It is there. Interesting. Hmm. Hmm. That can't be right. That's what I'm hearing in my head, at least. Hello, Miku Kasa. Welcome to the stream. I'm trying to. Hmm. Oh. I guess that makes sense. Hmm. Hmm. Fascinating. I forgot that today was Wednesday, Mayor. I don't know what I'm doing. This isn't a song. I'm just messing around. But there are some people in here that have songs other than Kid James. I did play Reflection Pool already. In answer to Mary's questions, how's everyone's Wednesday? My Wednesday has just kind of gotten started. I do have a lot of work to do today. Um, Yesterday wasn't as productive as I would have liked for it to have been. But I think I'm just in like a weird funk that I'm trying not to force myself through. I'm trying to just let it happen, let it pass over me like a storm. Goodness. Wait, is today Thursday? Today is Thursday, isn't it? Maddie, I think I saw your Instagram yesterday. I don't know how. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I dreamed it. What a weird dream to have. If that indeed did not happen. It was a drawing. Oh, okay. Do you ever just see ways in which you really need to improve? I know you're playing right now. That's a variation, Lindsay, of the bridge from Over and Under. I'm not playing Over and Under in its entirety because that's at the moment that's Cyber's song. But the bridge of it used to go. And I was just messing around with. Well, I forgot what I was playing, but it was like a variation of it. So I'm I don't know. I talked yesterday a little bit about how my chord versions don't have the same. Um, they don't follow a lot of traditional kind of poppy chord loops, and it's not necessarily because I don't like traditional poppy chord loops. I just don't really know what they are half the time, and I usually build chords based off of feeling and not out of key. Most songs tend to have the same key throughout the piece of work, and I think that my songs borrow a lot of chords from other keys and whatnot. Um, I don't I don't know enough about music theory to say when that's happening or why it's happening, but I think there are some times where I can go. I can tell when it's going into another key just because the mood of the song shifts. Like here, that one sounds weird. pick markers even existed until last year. I don't know how long those things have been around, but I feel like last year I was seeing a lot of people use them. It's interesting. It's very interesting. The past few days, or maybe even weeks, I felt really weird. Like I felt like time isn't passing or something. Like I feel like things aren't actually happening. I'm in like this really weird, eerie state, and I think that's what's causing my music funk or my creative funk. The world feels really weird right now. Like nothing's actually happening. Nothing's actually progressing. It's weird. I don't know what's going on with me. It's weird. I mean, I could blame it on the fact that I had to cancel my tour dates. And so usually, like the winter going into the spring is like a really, really busy time for us musicians and performers. And with like the coronavirus stuff, a lot of events are getting canceled. A lot of people are having to cancel their tours. And so it's kind of causing this weird stasis feeling. And politically, living in this country hasn't been particularly happy lately. It doesn't feel like anything's happening or progressing. And like I guess that combined with some weird personal issues, I haven't felt particularly creative or like time's passing. I feel like I'm at like a weird standstill. It's not good. But at least I still have the streams, I guess. I still have work. But it has been really weird. 2020, I don't know how I feel about 2020 so far. It's awful, right, Mary? It's really weird. Hey, Control. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to be playing original music in the stream. Control. Are you a big Tyler the Creator fan? Maddie, did you say no? Where do you live, Maddie? State-wise? Hello, Cyber. I'm glad you're having a busy day. I hope it's good busy. Oh, Seattle. I wish I understood Seattle the way it was set up more. Every time I go to Seattle, I end up just kind of wandering around and kind of getting lost. Oh, there she is. Last time I was in Seattle, I was staying. Oh no. University Hill, maybe it's called? Something Hill. I feel like I want to say University Hill. I might be wrong though. There's like an 8-ounce burger place up there called 8 Ounce. But I ended up walking from there into downtown, I guess. It was kind of an all-day walk. I walked down into downtown, which was like the steady descent. And then I kept walking until I got to an area that looked like a Chinatown. And then I went to a boba place that was massive in Chinatown, really big boba place. And then I went to a weird rooftop. I don't remember who told me how to get up on that roof. Somebody was like, hey, if you go to this address, you go kind of back behind the place, there's this gate, you can climb up on these things and you can get up on the roof. I got up on the roof, and I took some photos up there. And then when I was walking back up the hill to get to University Hill or wherever, I saw a place called Dick's. That reminded me a lot of all of the really old photos of McDonald's. Like the way McDonald's used to look back before it was a franchise. And I don't remember what time it was, but it was definitely very late at night. There's a big crowd outside of it, so I waited in line. I waited in line for the food. The burgers were surprisingly cheap, so I think I got like 2 cheeseburgers and a bunch of fries. And then I just kind of sat on the curb eating it, and thinking, like, this is nice, this is nice. I do kind of miss that place. Hotspot for party people. It's blocking your comment because it has the word Dixon, which is really funny to me. Maddie. But yeah, I do like that place. Everybody told me that the burgers there were disgusting, but I guess my night I was just walking around. I don't know. Usually when I'm in a different city, even if it's a city I've been to a few times, I kind of just like walking around the city, especially if it has a very urban feel, like New York, Seattle, San Francisco, Austin, Texas, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas. Texas is a nightmare, isn't it? Chicago, Illinois. What's the name of that place in Pennsylvania? I like Philadelphia. I've never been to Pittsburgh. Philadelphia is so cool, though. So cool. I would live in Philadelphia if it didn't get so cold. Like right now in Los Angeles, it's like low 50s, high 40s. And I mean, my window's open and I've got like short sleeves on, but I wouldn't necessarily like to be out in this. If I were going out and I was going to walk to the market, I would be wearing a hoodie. So I don't know if I could live in a place like Philadelphia. Those winters look pretty nasty. Mm-mm-mm. Yes, I'm a walker, Maddie. This next song, oh, I played Into Thin Air, by the way. I kind of just through improv fell into it and played it in its entirety, but that song is called Into Thin Air. Mm. This song's called Signals. And it's gonna be like a slow, dreary version of it. It's really cloudy out, and I'm not feeling the general Signals vibe. So, excuse these slower versions of a lot of the songs. Am I hungry? I think I'm hungry. Oh, hi, Gabriel. Wow, it's raining where you are? I think it's going to rain here in Los Angeles. It rained yesterday, and it rained the day before that. And there's a little rain emoji on today's weather forecast, so I feel like it's probably going to rain again. Oh, hi, Liana. You're here. It's work from home today. It's self-quarantine week. Oh, man. Passed my theory driving test, says Tommy. Got chill tunes and a nice live stream company. It's a good day. What's a what's a what's a theory driving test? That's a interesting. I guess I've done something similar. It just wasn't called a driving theory test, or maybe it was, and I wasn't paying attention. I just wanted my license. Which is interesting because I tried so hard to get my license. I got my license, then as soon as I got my license, I hated driving. I don't like driving really. I don't enjoy driving. I would say 90% of the time I don't enjoy driving. The one time I really enjoy driving is when I'm driving through um, mountains. Like, you know, when it's like a really narrow road and it's really windy and there's like a guardrail here and there's a mountain here and you're doing a lot of these. That's the only time I think I enjoy driving. A lot of like road trip cross country stuff. But as far as driving in the city, I'd much rather take a bus. I like public transportation so much. I like taking buses and trains and stuff like that. Whoa! That's actually really funny. Hmm. Only to me. Only to me. I feel like most of my music jokes are only funny to me. That. Wait, sorry. That's really funny to me. different spaces. So I feel like I'm having a lot of time to myself while I'm on the subway. It's weird. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think I have a song about night driving, Tommy. I think it just came out like a month ago. New York, the song with my dad, a lot of driving, pretty landscapes except for the stretch in which was through North Dakota. I know a few people from North Dakota. North Dakota is, it's something. Canada can have it as far as I'm concerned. But I'm glad that you did a road trip. Road trips are very important. What was I just playing? Ah, yes. I've been playing Pokemon Sword. I'm consistently having a heart beat up because it's too cute, says Diz. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Diz. This Pokemon game you speak of. That's the old version of Spring Street. Hi, Ray. How are you doing? It's interesting. You guys are talking about feeling guilt for leaving a Pokemon in the Pokemon Center. I think I'm regularly impressed by um, caring about things that aren't alive, things that don't matter, things that are just a bunch of data. Because, like, obviously, I don't know how many of you guys have played The Last of Us. It's a very, very good game. Maybe play it if you ever get the chance. But throughout the game, I've developed a pretty strong connection with Ellie, the person you're kind of taking care of over the course of the game. And yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean, I can see her. She looks kind of like somebody that I knew. Also, she's got a voice. We're seeing her move around. I'm like, I know what girls look like in real life. So this relates to me. I've seen things that mimic this relationship, I guess. An interesting thing about caring about not necessarily even just Pokemon, but any old game. You know, a lot of old games would make you feel bad, make you feel guilt or sorrow or tragedy. Usually over like something is. It's just kind of like a collection of pixels. There's not even voice acting in some of these games. These things don't even look like people, but a small monochromatic blip on the screen and some text underneath it makes you go like, oh no, what have I done? It's really funny. I mean, funny in an ironic way, not funny in a ha-ha way all the time. But I mean, maybe in a ha-ha way. It's just really weird. It's weird. I've done that a lot of times where I've kind of, I mean, I guess the same could be said about, actually, maybe even more so about books, right? Because books don't even have pictures. We're just forced to imagine, like, create these characters and places in our imagination. And then when the book tells us that this thing that we've now imagined is dead and it doesn't exist anymore, we feel still like a sense of loss, just as if somebody real died. It's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. It's very hard for me to do that anymore in games or books or films. I feel like the line between me and like immersion, I guess, is maybe the most vague term I can put on this. Um, the line between me and that immersion is getting bigger and bigger and harder to break through. Whereas, like, as a kid, I had this game called Hey You Pikachu, where you had like a mic that connected to your Nintendo 64 and you could like yell things at Pikachu. Actually, that game was really ahead of its time. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I mean, even the DS that has like microphone and stuff like that. This was a Nintendo 64 like add-on. It was this weird little mic, and they had a little yellow fuzzy thing on it. Probably yellow because of Pikachu. You put it on and say like, "Roll over, Pikachu. Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. Pikachu, eat that apple. Eat it." You just yell things at Pikachu, and there was no point really to the game. Your Pikachu couldn't necessarily get stronger. You weren't training for some battle. It was just kind of like a you just lived day to day talking to and living with this Pikachu. You didn't even really encounter a lot of other humans that had Pokemon. You kind of lived in this weird pocket dimension. Now that I'm talking about the game, I don't know that I would like it today, but at the time it was a very big deal. And I remember also it was a very buggy game. I know that's kind of like besides the point, but it was also very buggy. Pikachu wouldn't always listen, and it wasn't because they had like I'm not gonna get into it. But the point is, I remember playing that game, and I developed this like connection with Pikachu very, very easily, very quickly, in like a day's time. To where when like a little heart or whatever would appear above Pikachu's head, or when Pikachu seemed happy, I was like, oh, all right. I think everything's going on well in my life too. And now, I can play a game that has like almost photorealistic like characters and expressions, and people are crying, and people are getting shot, and there's blood, and it's sad. And I'm 5 games invested in this, and Kingdom Hearts, I guess so and so's dying. Something like that could happen. And I don't have nearly the same amount of connection to it as I used to, because I think that stories, whether it be a game, a book, or a movie, has to do so much now to get me like immersed and invested in it. It has to do a lot. Whereas it used to just kind of have to show me something and say, hey, Omni, this thing belongs to you. Don't let it die. And I'd be like, oh my god, can I call it at school tomorrow? My Tamagotchi's hungry. But now I feel like, yeah, they have to like go above and beyond to get me really invested in anything. Anyways. Pikachu never listened to me, says Andrew. Andrew, don't worry, it was a very buggy game. Yeah, after the fact, I mean, when you're a kid, you tell yourself things. When I was a kid, I told myself, like, oh, Pikachu's not listening to me because he's just so much of an individual. He's so smart. He's so smart that he has his own personality. Turns out the game was just really buggy. So sometimes you could just scream into the mic, or you could just yell a bunch of gibberish into the mic, and Pikachu would just do a thing. Because the game didn't know what you were trying to do. Half the time. But it was a fun game for what it was worth. It was really nothing. The game was just mini games. I can't play games like that anymore. No offense to games like that. I think games like that are great. Games where you just live and you do things that I can do in real life, like you tend a garden, or you pay your rent, or you go to work, or you build a table. Games like that don't give me joy anymore. Now, building an actual table gives me a lot of joy. I don't know. I think that I liked games like that when I was a kid because I just didn't have a lot of agency. I think people play games like that now because they find them relaxing, kind of like a break from the stresses of real life, I suppose. But I think I liked games like that as a kid because I didn't have any agency. I couldn't pay my rent. because I didn't have any rent to pay. I couldn't go to work because I didn't have a job. I couldn't drive a car because I didn't have a license. So I'd play games where I could do those things. And then once I was able to do those things in real life, those games were no longer fulfilling to me. Now, typically, when I play a game, I try to make it be something I can't do in real life. There's a game called Cooking Mama that I was talking with. Oh, I have to call her at some point. Anyways, I was hanging out with a friend and she was talking about Cooking Mama to me. And she was describing the game, and I was like, that sounds like a game I would never want to play because I love cooking. So, one of the cool things about cooking a meal is that after you're done cooking it, you get to eat it or share it with people. And I think that maybe playing Cooking Mama would give me some of that cool feeling of being able to cook a meal. But then in the end, I wouldn't be able to eat any of it because, well, it's a video game and it's fake. But I think the same thing happened when I was talking to her about Overcooked. Oh, I love Overcooked. Can you get Speed Dream MP3 anywhere? Not at the moment, Cyber. It's a good question, but not at the moment. Not right now. I apologize. But Overcooked is a game I love a lot. And somebody might say, well, Omni, it's a cooking game, and you love cooking. But it's not really a cooking game. It's a... I don't know what that game is. Has anybody in the stream played Overcooked? Am I just talking into a vacuum? Mm-hmm. I've played it, says Mary. Never even heard of it, says Lindsay. It's too stressful for me, though, says Mary. Well, Overcooked, Lindsay, or anybody in the stream for who is unaware of it, Overcooked is basically... It's like a timed... It's like you work in a restaurant and customers want a thing. They're like, I want pizza, I want pizza, and you have to make the pizza. And the pizza requires not as many realistic steps as Cooking Mama would, but it kind of is just like, take dough, smash dough, put sauce and pepperoni on dough, put thing in oven for, I don't know, 10 to 20 seconds, put on plate, give to customer. But the customers are very, very needy and very, very selfish. And you have to kind of get good at making things very quickly. And it's a multiplayer game, so you can play with up to four people, four real life humans. You can play with four people, or you can play by yourself. It's a little bit easier if you have at least one other person. And they ramp up the difficulty of the restaurants very, very quickly. I mean, it's just a restaurant, and then I think there's one restaurant where an earthquake happens, and it'll like part the floor temporarily. But the problem is, like, the stove is down here and, like, the sink to wash dishes is up there, so you kind of have to, like... The kitchens get pretty crazy. I think there's, like, a kitchen in a volcano. I mean, sometimes there's customers walking through the kitchen, so you can't push them over. Point is, it's just, it can be very stressful, as Mary says, especially if you're playing with people that aren't as organized and smart as you are. But, I mean, I feel like I only play with people that are, like, in the living room with me, like, on the couch. And I'm, like, really, like... I'm like a kitchen master. A chef. I'm a chef? No. I prefer kitchen master. I'm a kitchen master, and so when I have all my friends over, I'm like, yo, you're on dishes. So you're going to be running back and forth with dishes. Everybody stay away from this quadrant of the kitchen. That's going to be theirs. I'm going to be on chopping meat. I'll be frying. I'll let you guys know the recipes as they come up. Like, I'm like super organized. And so I love Overcooked, but I can see how it could be stressful, Mary. Absolutely. I need to talk to my roommates into playing games with me so I can play it. Oh, please, Maddie. Please. I would love to play a goal or a dream, a gaming dream of mine is to play Overcooked with 3 other good people. Because nobody I've ever met is as good at that game as I am, and I feel like I'm constantly being held back by, let's just say, inferior chefs. People dropping things on the floor, burning food. I'm very good at the game, and I have one other friend who's very good at the game. And usually, every time she visits LA, we kind of like burn through all the DLC because they release DLC regularly for it. We burn through it, but it would be really cool to have like 4 people that were really good, and not just two. What system is it on? Says Darkro. It's. I mean, the first time I played it, it was on Switch, but I don't have a Switch, so I got it on PlayStation. So I know it's at least on those 2 systems. It's probably on Steam. Evo 2020, let's go. Says Diz. Is Evo 2020 even happening? Are you making a joke? Because it's not happening? This is why I don't like co-op games, says Liana. Yeah, being at the whims and whimsy of somebody else's mistakes is kind of annoying. So co-op games can be annoying for that reason. I get that. I get that, Liana, for sure. That's what I'd be afraid of. I don't trust my roommate to be good enough. Oh, yeah. That's why I mean, I had some people over and it was awful. I was trying to play with them, but they were like being bad on purpose. They were like purposely like throwing stuff around and like not playing the game well. And I was like, oh, I'm never playing with these people again. This was a nightmare. I hate this. But yeah, competitive Overcooked would be my jam for sure. E3's canceling a joke altogether. Jesus Christ, Darkrow. That's a no-no. Wait, who used to say that? I know you weren't here for the very beginning of the stream, Cyber. Although the stream is ending soon, but I know you weren't here for the very beginning of the stream, Cyber. But I was getting into like how I was in a creative funk. I know I was making all of those housey tunes, and they're still there. And every now and then I still open them. Well, every now and then being every day, I open them and I listen to them, and then I'm unable to actually. I think it was Matumbo. Sorry, I got distracted again. Every now and then I'll open them up. Every day I open up and I listen to them. I don't really add that much to them. I'm feeling a little bit creatively stifled by them. And I think it's not just a music thing. I think in general I'm feeling stifled. So these streams are very good for me. But as far as like writing new music, I haven't been able to come up with anything lately. I've had to cancel a bunch of tour dates. Looking at the news is depressing. Politically, the country feels bad. Health-wise, the country feels like it's going to get bad. A lot of events are canceled that I was going to be going to. I feel weird. The country, the world feels weird right now. Everything feels weird. And it hasn't been very conducive to creativity. So, that's a thing. Goodbye, Mary. Thank you so much for being in the stream. We're all going to get out of here pretty soon as well. But I do have a new song called The View. The song, by the way, that's called The View, the reason that I struggle every now and then when I'm announcing it or giving the news on The View is because The View was not called The View. The View I wrote the lyrics and initial chord progression to actually several years ago because it was supposed to be on Speed Dream Part 2. It's a little bit of trivia that maybe I shouldn't have told anybody, but that was a song that was supposed to be on Speed Dream 2. It ended up getting released as a single, and it was called Sun Goes Down. And then I shortened that title to Sundown, and then when I wanted to release it on this compilation Lazarus, I wanted to kind of do away with the old name so I wouldn't mentally attach it to Speed Dream, so I renamed it The View. Oh my god, please don't do that. I like it. Never mind. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. That's a trap for me. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So that's why The View is called The View. That's why The View is called The View. The person that song's about? Oh, wow. I don't know how many of you guys have heard The View, but that song is about somebody. And I don't remember who it's about. This has never happened to me before. See, the problem is, I wrote a song because I had a crush on somebody, and this was a long time ago, and I didn't release the song. I released it like almost a year and a half later. I don't remember who I wrote that song about. That's great. I like that. Can never be tainted now. Whoever I wrote it about, I sure did like them a lot. And I was thinking about them quite often. Often enough to write a song about them. Please listen to the song with you. Also, I have two new bodies of work out. One is called Quick Breath, the other one is called Ego Death. Ego Death is very ambient, while Quick Breath is a little bit more danceable and housey. You can find them on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. I guess I can do it slow. I have a t-shirt and some stickers coming out this year. As far as shows this year, as I just mentioned earlier, I had to cancel a lot of them. I don't know what's going on this year as far as events. I really don't. I feel like nobody does. Everything's still up in the air. They postponed Coachella to October. Hopefully things are better by October. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, Cyber says, does anyone use Deezer or Pandora? I know one person uses Deezer because they said, Omni, why isn't your music on Deezer? Why isn't your music on Deezer? And they used to say it quite often in Instagram streams. And then I put my music on Deezer and I never saw them again. So I don't know if they were only coming into my streams because they wanted on Deezer. I don't know if they wanted my music so badly on Deezer and it took me so long that I now lost this fan and therefore put all the money forward to having my music published on Deezer for no actual reason. I do know one person that used Deezer. As far as Pandora, my mom uses Pandora. My mom doesn't listen to my music, but I did put it on Pandora so that she would listen to it. So I guess that's a loss leader. Is that what they call it in a business? Business school. Yeah, instead of thinking about them, I get to think about the song. Deezer is French, says Liana. So's my mom. That came full circle. Guys, I don't know what's happening with shows, but I can't announce anything because it looks like all the shows are being canceled. All the shows in the world. No show shall happen. I'm very hungry, actually, also, so I'm glad that we're coming to a close. As far as streams, you guys know it happens here every morning. Every morning. Except for weekends. Weekends, I take the weekend off. But every weekday morning, we're here from 9 a.m. to Shrug. Today, I'm doing really good by getting out of here before an hour and a half passes up. We just spent so much of the stream talking, and I also did like a lot of improv in the middle that it kind of burned through time. So I apologize for that, if that was indeed unpleasant for anybody in the stream. However, I am here at 9 a.m. every weekday morning. You guys already know that, so hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for the Friday stream, which is going to be the last stream of the week. Morning Medley number 92, inching our way towards 100 every day. Every day, and I'm glad you enjoyed the improv, Manny. I am glad about that. That's good. How about a variation on Hush Hour? Who's sick of hearing the same old Hush Hour every day? Well, what chord goes between those two? That's cool. Oh, hello, Hank. How are you doing, Hank? Stick to the classics. Yeah. Oh, that's what the thing to say, Lindsay. You're not the only person that said that. Somebody said I had an evil laugh. These are the most depressing streams. I am so sorry, guys. If this is still enjoyable for any of you guys, I'm so glad. I'm really powering through it. Something about the weird funk that I'm in, plus the fact that it's super cloudy, in LA, which is like not a thing. It's not a thing for us out here. It happens maybe 2 weeks out of the year. I need my sun. I'm dying. I'm dying without it. So, thank you guys for being a ray of sunshine in a very dour Los Angeles. Thank you also for being respectful. I gotta stop coughing in the stream. I've like actually looked back at a couple of streams and I look like some like weird sickly little child. Anyways, I am going to thank everybody for being respectful to me and polite to each other. It is the internet, and I don't take that for. It's raining now. Now it's raining. Why? Oh, it's awful, guys. It's really awful. Thank you for being respectful to each other and polite to me. Really do appreciate you guys. Hopefully, I see you in tomorrow's stream. If not, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your weekend, please. Somebody has to. One of us has got to do it. I am going to try to be a little bit more active on my Instagram today. I know I've kind of been taking a weird break from social media because it's making me kill all creative juices. But I'll try. I'll try. Maybe I'll do like a little Instagram questionnaire or something like that. How about that? That sounds fun, yeah? Maybe I do have range, Lindsay. Maybe I do have range. But people have said, even like my mother said that I had a very evil laugh. I had a very evil and loud laugh. My laugh is pretty loud. Oh snap, I'm back, says Dexter. Welcome to the end, Dexter. You know, it's really funny how often that happens. I am going to close it with this, but it's funny how often, like, right before I leave, people are like, I feel like I'm like ending my shift at a job, and customers are like, yo, you're open still, right? I'm like, yeah, I mean it's like 10:57, and we close at 11. They're like, sick, made it just in time. I am so sorry, Dexter. I'm sorry for everybody that has that's happened to. I think it's happened to Diz also. The NPC and Pokemon named their Pokemon Bonbon. Oh no way! Can you sue them for me? Can you give them a cease and desist for me, the owner of those 6 letters? Um, and greetings, Curse. Greetings to you too. Greetings to everybody who was late and missed the stream. I appreciate you guys even just for showing up. Sometimes just seeing a little icon on my end that it looks like a person. It's got a little like a little white thing and then a little white circle for a head. And a little number goes up every time somebody comes in. And even if you come in the last 5 seconds, it still makes me feel good to leave on a high note. I appreciate y'all. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah, I hope everything pans out okay. Abba. Living in